Choreb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit. Interpreted and narrated by Wendy. Jaqara, Leviticus, chapter 13. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, This will be the teaching of the leper. In the day of his cleansing he will be brought to the priest. Also the priest will go forth out of the camp. Then the priest will look, and behold if the leprosy is healed in the leper. Moreover, the priest will command to take 2 live, clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop for him, whom is to be cleansed. And the priest will command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he will take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop. Then dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he will sprinkle upon him whom is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times. Then he will pronounce him clean, and let the living bird loose into the open field. And he who is to be cleansed will wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And after that he will come into the camp, and he will tarry outside of his tent for 7 days. Then on the 7th day he will shave all the hair off of his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all his hair he will shave off. And he will wash his clothes, also he will wash his flesh in water, then he will be clean. Furthermore, on the 8th day he will take 2 male lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the 1st year without blemish, and 3/10 deals of fine flour for a gift, mingled with oil, and 1 lug of oil. And the priest that is to make him clean will present the man who is to be made clean and those things before Yahuwah at the door of the appointed tent. Also the priest will take 1 male lamb and offer him for a shame offering, and the lug of oil, and their shaking you will shake before Yahuwah. Then he will slay the lamb in the place where he kills the sin offering and the ascension offering in the holy place. For the sin offering is the priest's, so is the shame offering. It is a holy of holies. And the priest will take some of the blood of the shame offering, and the priest will put it upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Then the priest will take some of the lug of oil, and pour it into the palm of his left hand. Also the priest will dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and sprinkle the oil with his finger 7 times before Yahuwah. And the remaining oil that is in his hand the priest will put upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the shame offering. Then the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he will pour upon the head of him whom is to be cleansed, and the priest will make an atonement for him before Yahuwah. And the priest will offer the sin offering, and make an atonement for him whom is to be cleansed from his uncleanliness. And afterward he will kill the ascension offering. Moreover, the priest will offer the ascension offering and the gift upon the altar. Then the priest will make an atonement for him, therefore he will be clean. But if he is poor and cannot get so much, then he will take 1 lamb for a shame offering to be shaken, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a gift, and a lug of oil. Also 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to obtain, and 1 will be a sin offering, and the other an ascension offering, And he will bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing to the priest, to the door of the appointed tent, before Yahuwah. And the priest will take the lamb of the shame offering and the lug of oil. Surely the priest will shake them in the presence of Yahuwah, and he will kill the lamb of the shame offering, and the priest will take some of the blood of the shame offering and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Also, the priest will pour oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest will sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before Yahuwah. And the priest will put oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the shame offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he will put upon the head of him whom is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before Yahuwah. Then he will offer one of the turtle doves, or one of the young pigeons, from whichever he can obtain. Whichever he can obtain, one is for the sin offering, and the other is for an ascension offering with the gift. And the priest will make an atonement for him whom is to be cleansed before Yahuwah. This is the teaching for who has the plague of leprosy in him, who is unable to obtain purity. Then Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, When you go into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, then I will put the plague of leprosy in the house, from the land of your possession. Moreover, he who owns the house will come to tell the priest, saying, It seems to me that plague is in the house. Then the priest will command that he empty the house before the priest goes to see the plague, so that all who are in the house are not made unclean. And afterwards the priest will go in to see the house. And he will look upon the plague, and behold, if indeed the plague is in the walls of the house with ingrained greenish or reddish depressions that are visible lower than the wall, then the priest will go out of the house to the door of the house, and shut the house for 7 days. Furthermore, the priest will come again the 7th day. Also, he will look and see if the plague has spread in the walls of the house. Then the priest will command that they take away the stones in which the plague exists, and they will cast them into an unclean place outside the city. Also, he will cause the house to be swept within, round about, and they will pour out the dust that they have swept off outside the city into an unclean place. And they will take other stones and put them in the place of those stones. And he will take another mortar and plaster the house. However, if the plague comes again and breaks out in the house, after he has taken away the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest will come and look, and behold, if the plague has spread in the house, it is a bitter leprosy in the house, it is unclean. Therefore he will break down the house, its stones, and its timber, and all the mortar of the house. Also he will carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he who goes into the house, all the while that it is shut up, will be unclean until the evening. And he who lies in the house will wash his clothes, and he who eats in the house will wash his clothes. But if the priest will come in, then look upon it and see the plague has not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest will pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. Then he will take 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop, to cleanse the house. And he will kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel, over running water. And he will take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he will cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. Then he will let the living bird go out of the city into the open fields, and make atonement for the house. Thus it will be clean. This is the teaching of all manner of plague of leprosy, and scale, and for the leprosy of a garment, and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the teaching of leprosy.